Hello everyone, this is Mr. O, and today I'll be teaching you inequalities. So what are inequalities? This is called an equality, and we also call it an equation, right? And these are inequalities. Do you see the difference? We have 4 different mathematical symbols for inequalities. Greater than or equal to symbol, smaller than or equal to symbol, greater than symbol, and smaller than symbol. By the way, for these 2 signs, some people also write it like this, 2 lines, and like this. And some people just keep single lines here, and it doesn't matter. This video is gonna be fairly short, and I'll be covering inequalities deeply in the next video. But first, we need to learn some basic concepts. I'll be teaching you the basic concepts simply by going through some practice questions with you guys, so you can spend the least amount of time to learn this, okay? Let's do 7 questions here. And that's gonna be it for this video. Exciting? So, isolate the variables. You know what variables are? Those unknown numbers shown as letters, right? So question 1. We have 2x being smaller than 4. And we need to isolate the x. Isolating means just keeping x here and move all the other numbers to the other side. So in this case, I want to isolate x by moving 2 to the other side. A lot of students are not sure if they can just move the numbers around, because these are not equations, right? These are inequalities. But I'll answer to that. You can. Just treat these inequalities like equations. You can move numbers around, okay? All clear? So what's gonna happen if we move 2 to the other side? So moving 2 to the other side is like dividing both sides by 2, right? So to be accurate, it's like we're dividing both sides by 2. And that'll become x being smaller than 2. Right? This is like moving 2 to the other side, which is this multiplication is gonna become division, right? And it seems we got the correct answer. And next one is a minus 3 is smaller or equal to 2. So this, again, we can treat it as an equation. So just move 3 to the other side, which is going to become plus 3, right? So to be more accurate, I'll add 3 on both sides, which is like moving minus 3 to the other side, right? It's the same thing. So a is smaller than or equal to 5. Third one, t plus 3 is greater than minus 3. So from here, I'm just gonna skip the middle step. So just plus 3 is gonna become minus 3 on the other side, right? So minus 3, so that will be t is greater than minus 6. T is greater than minus 6. Yep. Now next one. We have 2y minus 2 being smaller than 6. Okay, let's move minus 2 to the other side. You know the order. We have to move the plus and minus ones first. So 2y is gonna be 8, right? Minus 2 becomes plus 2. And then we should divide both sides by 2, which is like moving this to the other side, and that'll become dividing it by 2. So y will be smaller than 4. Y is smaller than 4. Good. Next one, 4x is smaller than 1 over 4. So if we move 4 to the other side, it's going to be divide by 4, right? Because here it's multiply by 4. So x is going to be smaller than 1 over 16. X is smaller than 1 over 16. Now this question is important. Many students make a mistake in this kind of question. X is in the denominator and 3 is also in the denominator. So wouldn't it be okay to just bring both up to the numerators? Like x is smaller than or equal to 3, like this? Doesn't this make sense? Never. You must do it in the same way as you showed in the previous questions. Like, this is 1 divided by x. So if I move x to the other side, it's going to be multiplied by x. So 1 is smaller than or equal to x over 3, right? Now, if we move 3 to the other side, it's going to be multiplied by 3. So 3 is going to be smaller than or equal to x. Or x is greater than or equal to 3. Same thing. So this is x is smaller than or equal to 3. And this is x is greater than or equal to 3. They're different. And don't make this mistake, okay? Like flipping these numbers upside down. So the correct answer is indeed x is greater than or equal to 3, which matches with this one. So don't just flip the fractions, okay? If you really want to just flip them and make your life easier, then you should also flip this symbol. And I can explain you why. So take a look at this. Which one is greater number? 10, of course, right? So you would put a symbol like this. But what if we flip these numbers like this in a way that it's 1 over 4 and 1 over 10? Which one is greater? It's this one, right? You see how when you flip the numbers, you have to also flip the sign. This one as well. 3 is greater than 2, of course. That's obvious. But then if we flip these two numbers, 1 over 2 is like 0.5, right? But then 1 over 3 is like 0.3333, right? So this one is obviously greater. And you see how the symbol is also flipped here? Probably now you're convinced that if, let's just say, x is greater than 3, 1 over x should be probably smaller than 1 over 3. Make sense? So back to here. So if you are just moving x to the other side and 3 to the other side, just like how we did in all the previous questions, then you'll be fine. But if you want to skip all those steps and just simply flip these two numbers, then you should not forget to flip this symbol as well, okay? And of course, when you're flipping this symbol, this equal sign will still be there. Now, this last question is actually new and also the most important. So I'll put 3 stars here. And I'm gonna do it in the proper way, like move -1 to the other side, which is same thing as dividing both sides by -1, right? So minus x divided by -1 greater than 3 divided by -1, which is gonna be x is greater than -3. But the answer is x is smaller than -3. We didn't do anything wrong. What happened here? So take a look at this one. -2 and -5. Which one is smaller? -5, because if you think about it, this is 0, and it goes 1, 2, 3 like this. And down here, it's going to be -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5, and etc., right? And we have -2 here and -5 here. Of course, -2 is greater. So, we'll have this symbol. But now, if we flip the sign from negative to positive, 5 is greater than 2, right? So the sign flips. It actually flips. Because if I divide both sides by -1, which is proper way, we'll have 2 and 5 here at the same position. But we are changing the symbol, right? Inequality symbol. So in this case, the symbol is actually changing, even if we did it in the proper way. So that means if we have this, negative x is, I'll say, I don't know, like this, smaller than or equal to -3, then if we flip the signs, change the sign from negative to positive, the symbol is gonna actually flip. So this is the actual flip, unlike the fraction case. So here, even if we did it in the proper way, like dividing both sides by -1, we should still change the symbol like this. We have to. Let me make it clear. If you're flipping the sign in front of x, like the variable, then you have to flip the symbol as well, okay? Just remember that. If you're flipping the sign that's in front of the variable, you have to also flip this symbol, okay? So that was it. And here are the homeworks that I'll be showing you the answers in the next video. See you soon.